Well, in other news, the job market is terrible right now. Trash. Basura. Ay, Dios mío. No hay trabajo. Unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably noticed at least one news story about mass layoffs in the federal government and major corporations like Amazon, Google, Meta, and Microsoft. So with these various layoffs means there's more people pouring into the job market looking for available jobs. While you're applying and waiting to hear back, let's discuss a few tips to keep you sane while you wait. Hi, I'm Jay, life coach and HR professional. Currently going through a career transition myself. So these are some of the things that I do and I find them to be useful, and I hope that they work out for you as well. Let's get into it. Suggestion number 1, get out of the house. There are plenty of paid and unpaid things that you can do during the course of the day. So for example, if you have a little money to spare, depending on what city you live in, you might be able to go to a co-working spot and pay for a day pass. A day pass may run you anywhere from like 30 to 40 bucks a day. It's just basically like an office setting somewhere. They have maybe couches, chairs, some tables where you can set up with your laptop. But if you're looking to step outside of your home and maybe work on your business, or maybe you work on, you're applying for jobs, or you just need to get out of the house because you're getting cabin fever, that's a great option, but it is paid. Now, if you're looking for an unpaid option, you could go to the public library. That's an option as well. I've been to the public library a couple of times just to kind of change up the scenery. When I get tired of sitting in the house and don't want to go and sit in a coffee shop and pay $8 for coffee. I already had coffee early in the morning. Why do I want to go and pay for coffee at this coffee shop? I digress. Sometimes if you just want to go somewhere and get out of the house for the free, then the public library is a great option because you pay for it with your tax dollars. So why not go and enjoy the public library? So that's a great option as well. Now, I will say you will run into different economic levels in the public libraries. You may see people from all walks of life, someone you may assume to be homeless, which you don't really know unless you, I guess, go up and talk to them. But in my experience, they're not in there to bother anybody. They're in there to use a computer, charge their devices, and they're minding their business just like you're going to go in there and mind yours, and nobody's bothering nobody. So that's great. But just kind of be mindful of that if you decide to choose that free option. Free to you is also free to everybody else. Okay, cool. Another option could be if you live in an apartment, guess what? More than likely you pay for amenities in your apartment complex. So if they have like a little office space where you can go in and sit in there for a couple of hours until close time, probably won't let you stay in there after hours. But during business hours, that may be a good place to go, throughout the week. So that's another free option. Well, technically it's not free because it's being charged in your rent, but it's a free option that you could utilize as well to go and work on your laptop, read a book, just to get out of the house. So another option there. Now, suggestion number 2. Did I say number 1? Number 1 was get out the house. So suggestion number 2 is stop doom scrolling. So I'm a firm believer that everything carries energy. And I'm a firm believer that too much of any one thing is not good. So whether we're talking about you watching too much of the news, politics, movies, music, social media, gossip, reaction channels, all kinds of stuff. And I'm naming these things because these are things that I can watch sometimes and find myself going down a rabbit hole of watching stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, I got to snap out of this. If you feel like you fall into that category of watching too much of any of those things, news, politics, social media, whatever the case, number 1, be honest with yourself and acknowledge it. And then step 2 is to pull yourself away from your phone. So try to allow some quiet time to not have your phone or something playing in the background at all times of the day. From the time you wake up to the time you're going to bed, it's phone, 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 noise, 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 background noise. So try to give yourself the opportunity to just have nothing playing. Give yourself time to listen to your own thoughts, and also give time for the Heavenly Father to speak to you in those quiet moments. You can't really hear all that well if you're constantly listening to noise from the outside world, news, politics, social media, music, blah, 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 just going all day. You don't even get to hear your own thoughts or even give time for those heavenly downloads to come into your mind. That's just my suggestion for you to think about what you're thinking about, right? Right? Okay. Suggestion number 3. Go for a walk. You can go outside, go for a walk, get some fresh air, look around, look at nature, listen to the birds chirp. You can see the wind blowing through the trees. It sounds lame and boring, but I'm telling you, it is the most peaceful thing that you can ever witness. Now, I'm in the South, so I'm in Texas, and it's hot as I'll get out right now. If you are in a part of the country that's hot as well, then you're going to have to time this walk that we're talking about. Again, if you live in an apartment, you can go to the gym and get on a treadmill, which I find kind of boring, to be honest with you. Just walking on a treadmill is not as exciting to me as being outside. But I'm in the South. We have more hot days than cold. So the majority of the time, it's too hot to be outside. What that typically means is you either got to get your walk in early in the day or later in the evening time, right as the sun is coming up. You don't want to go too early, too late for safety reasons, obviously. But if you feel like you're in a safe environment where you can take a walk maybe early in the morning or later in the evening, then that may be something you want to look into as well. But at least then, early in the morning before that sun starts beaming and heating up really fast, because I've tried it and that sun gets super hot. And then just as the sun is getting ready to set in the evening, that's another great time to take a walk as well. That's my suggestion. Those are some things that I do. I find walks to be very therapeutic. And bonus points if you can walk without your headphones. Again, if you're just walking around early in the morning or later in the afternoon without your headphones and just listening to the sounds around you in nature. If you are going to walk with your headphones, I suggest 1 and not 2. Or if you're going to use 2 and plug both ears, have the volume really low so you can still be aware of your surroundings for safety reasons, right? Even if you're in a safe area, what does safe mean anyway? There's riffraff everywhere. Okay. But no, walks are very peaceful and they can be a stress reliever and can really get your wheels turning. You don't think that walk is doing anything for you besides burning calories or toning you up a little bit. But I'm telling you, my brain starts working overtime and inhaling fresh air and just walking around and just looking at nature, looking at what God has created, the trees and birds and grass and all this kind of stuff. It's very therapeutic, I'm telling you. And your brain will just start flowing like water with ideas and all kind of wonderful things. So that's just my suggestions. Those are some of the things that I'm doing. God has me in the midst of a transition season between being a life coach, in between corporate America, being an HR professional, more so trying to pivot to HRIS, Human Resource Information Systems. I'm on my own little career pivot, but then also doing what God told me to do and creating content to motivate the people. In the midst of this, these are some of the things that I do to keep me sane, keep the blood flowing, keep the energy going, keep my ideas flowing, make sure I'm allowing time for my Heavenly Father to speak to me. I wanted to share that with you, so I hope it helps you. Drop down in the comments. Are you in any kind of career transition? Are you currently looking for jobs? Have you recently found a job? If so, congratulations to you. Or if you're gainfully employed and just decided to watch the video, I love you real bad. Actually, I love all y'all real bad. However many of y'all decide to watch this video, I love you real bad, okay? Thank you very much. But until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.